Welcome back to Cox Connections. Last year, Food for Others distributed over 2.2 million pounds of free food to families in need in Northern Virginia. Here to tell us about the ongoing need for food in our communities and the programs they have in place to help is Jessica Kogan. Welcome, Jess. How are you?
Hi,
good to see you.
Nice to see you, JD. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about hunger and how it's affecting our communities. Tell me about that.
Well, I feel very blessed to work at Food for Others, where we're doing something to try to remedy food insecurity that's affecting a lot of our families here in Northern Virginia. You know, Fairfax is very well known for being a high income area,
Absolutely.
but we have a great need in Fairfax and Northern Virginia in general of people who really are having a hard time meeting the cost of living and often cut corners on food. So we're trying to help people make sure that they have enough to eat, and it's very important. So thank you for helping us get the message out today.
Absolutely. So you also target, I guess, a large percentage of children that are on like the free lunch program. How many is that?
Yes. Unfortunately, with the cost of living increasing so much around here, there are more children than ever in need of help with food. And we hear from teachers, school social workers all the time. They're just really distraught when they come to talk to us about kids who are coming in, especially on Mondays when they haven't been able to get those free school meals. And they come in and they're not concentrating well, and they're having behavior problems that are tied to being hungry. So the good news is Food for Others and some other food organizations in the area are providing food through the schools on the weekends. We have a Power Pack program to help kids come to school ready to learn on Mondays. And that's just one of the things we do at Food for Others, but that's directly to address for example, in Fairfax County, 40% of the kindergarten class this year qualified for the Free and Reduced Meals Program, which is a federal measure of poverty.
No kid should go to bed hungry at all. How can they study and focus at school? I mean, you have a bunch of unique programs at Food for Others. Can you tell us about some of the other programs?
Yes. Clients come to us directly at our warehouse in Merrifield, and they pick up food. If they're low income, they can get food monthly. And if they're going through some kind of an emergency and they have a referral from a social worker or a school counselor, for example, they can pick up groceries to help them get through a difficult time. So they come to us directly for that. We send volunteers to 16 neighborhood sites as well every night of the week, where we give out free food. And we also support some other smaller food organizations, so they send volunteers to us to get food. And we take donations to help make all this happen, and we utilize volunteers. So it's a big operation.
So really, how large is Food for Others?
Well, we have an incredibly small staff, if I may say so myself, because I'm one of them. But we give out this 2 million pounds of food each year with a staff of only 9 people. Yes.
How do you do that?
We have 500 to 1,000 volunteers each month. And so it's really a community effort. And the only way that we can help fight food insecurity in the ways that we do is thanks to the many, many people who get involved and help make a difference here.
Yeah, I understand that volunteerism program is huge for you. So with that many volunteers, how do you manage that many volunteers?
Well, we have an award-winning volunteer manager. Our volunteer director is Nikki Clifford, and she is in charge of it all, and she's been recognized with awards for the great effort that she's managing there.
So you have volunteers, you provide service. Seems like you're open 7 days a week because you provide emergency services. So what do you need from the community? How could we help?
We are mostly operating Monday through Friday. That's our way of doing it, but we give the food out to other organizations that are open on Saturdays and Sundays, and we make that information available to clients who come to us. So what people who are listening can do to make a really big difference is bring us food. Unfortunately, we're actually currently not meeting our goals for where we wanted to be with the donated food that has come in the last few years. I don't know why that is, but people really would like to see them step it up a little and bring in more food donations. Something we always need is canned chili. We also need fruit in natural juices and spaghetti sauce, just for 3 examples of things we could use. But we also take fresh produce, and our clients love to get fresh fruits and vegetables, and we give them sometimes milk and eggs and meat too. But some easy things for folks to bring in could be just pick up a few extra cans when you're at the grocery store and bring it to Food for Others, or run a food drive. That's another way a lot of people are helping, running food drives at schools, workplaces, all kinds of organizations.
So I've done some volunteer work and worked at some of these food drives, and I think one of the unique things I learned about was about cans with dents in them. So is there something unique about cans with dents, or do you take cans with dents?
We take cans with dents, and our warehouse manager does continuing education, and she's up on all the state-of-the-art rules and regulations, and she manages all that. But we do take dented cans, and we take expired cans, and we give out the food and we do the best we can.
Well, and I think that's a great thing to share with the viewers, because we tend to throw away expired cans or when they're about to expire, and I think you could utilize those things, especially when you're talking about canned chili and spaghetti sauce and fresh fruit juices in cans and things like that. So I think that was great information to share. So if someone wants to learn more about your program, where would they go?
They would go to our website, www.foodforothers.org. That's food, F-O-R, others.org. And it's all there.
That's great. So if you want to give everybody a lasting message about what you do and how they could help, in 30 seconds or less, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that they can make a difference locally in the world if they bring food or make a monetary donation or just give of their own time and talents to Food for Others, and they will help give people nutrition, help people know where their next meal is coming from who might not otherwise be able to eat that day, and they can really make a difference that way, and we hope they'll do that.
And so do I. Jess, thank you so very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Cox Connections. But before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment, information, and communication needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we pledge to be a friend you can trust. We promise to provide you with quality products backed up by a talented local team of professionals that will help you stretch your dollar. And from all of your friends and neighbors here at Cox, we thank you for joining us on this edition of Cox Connections. Thank you again, Jess.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.